Even though United is a major airline, it has its own share of problems. For one, their customer service department seems to be staffed largely by robots and has been for a while. They have also been known to look for ways to pack more people on planes, like making seats even thinner than they already are. They are also one of the few airlines with the honor of being fined by the Department of Transportation for delaying rightful refunds to passengers. It's no surprise they don't have too many friends and champions. Even former Senate Majority Leader Bill Frist has taken his hatred of the airline public more than once. Delta is a massive full-service airline, so it's no surprise that they also would have some hiccups here and there. The airline wants to trademark world's most trusted airline, but then winds up doing things like bumping a plane full of passengers to make sure a college basketball team gets to their game, or forcing a disabled passenger to crawl across the tarmac to his wheelchair. However, most independent studies put them far from the worst, especially when the folks working there do things like dig through the trash to reunite a child with his late father's t-shirt, and the CEO himself gives up his seat to a mother trying to get home. Like many of the other low-cost carriers in the lineup, Ryanair's bread and butter are packed planes and exorbitant fees that drive up your travel costs. When people point to how low-cost carriers are misleading customers, charging them for every little thing, and then in the end resulting in a still unpleasant flying experience, people generally point to Ryanair as an example. Ryanair also charges for things like the privilege of stowing a musical instrument the same way as any other luggage, printing a boarding pass at the airport, individual booking fees for every member of your party even though you book them all at the same time, booking with a credit card, one fee to check in online, and then another, of course, larger fee for checking in at the airport, and the list goes on. After all, their CEO is the guy who thinks airplanes don't need seat belts and should be a standing room only because after all they are pretty much buses that fly, right? He does not have much love for his employees either, telling flight crews to lose weight so he can save on fuel, and gloating in front of a bunch of laid-off workers. Other airlines, like Aer Lingus, who have been in Ryanair's acquisition sites, have been terrified at the idea that they have blocked repeated bids to be taken over by Ryanair. Frontier Airlines was once a great example of how great a low-cost carrier could be. Flyers considered it friendly, comfortable, reasonably priced, and efficient. Then it was purchased by the ex-CEO of Spirit Airlines after winding up declaring bankruptcy in 2008, and everything changed. Like many so-called low-cost carriers, the low cost applies to your ticket price, and not to the fees attached to everything from carry-on luggage to use of overhead bins and seat reservations. Frontier's fees are so confusing that they may be different based on which website you book your tickets. The horror stories don't just stop at fees. In 2012, Frontier just cancelled flights without telling anyone. Spirit Airlines has the dubious honor of being the most complained about airline in the United States. The airline comes in dead last in Consumer Reports' ranking of the worst airlines, and ironically it is the only U.S. airline to make a list of the world's worst airlines, according to data by Business Insider and Skytrax. That is a pretty heavy load to carry when you are simultaneously calling yourself the most consumer-friendly airline. They are not exactly doing themselves any favors with cash grabs like hiking baggage fees for the holiday travel season, on top of their already impressive fees for carry-on bags. But don't worry, Spirit's CEO says those fees are a consumer benefit, so you should be thanking them, right?